I can't really help it, but my jacket has made me some sort of flashpoint for this debate over lab-grown fake meat, right? From the very moment these alternatives hit the shelves and our restaurants, the questions have come rolling my way, and things now are starting to heat up again. Now, 2 states, Florida and Alabama, they've banned lab-grown meat for consumption, while 3 others have proposed similar restrictions on this controversial 3D printed meat. Additionally, 10 states now mandate labeling of all lab-grown meat. Meanwhile, the rest of the U.S., well, has no regulations at all governing this fake meat. Now, there are 2 types of fake meat, right? There's that plant-based, you've heard of that one, and lab-grown. Now, they're both obviously not real. And to be truly baptized into liking these things, one must believe that real meat is bad for you, real meat is bad for the climate, and real meat is bad for water sources. Now, investors haven't fully bought into that yet. And what I mean by that is this. There's a publicly traded company, you might have heard of them, Beyond Meat. They trade for just under $4 a share right now, off of its highs of, listen to this, $200 per share. I think the people have voted, right, with their feet on that one. Now, my thoughts on this are pretty simple. These things are probably here to stay, but as a lonely alternative to the real thing. I think they're going to be banished to the back page of the menu next to decaf coffee and non-alcoholic beer. I'm sure my next guest has something to say about this. Please welcome into our show Ms. Rebecca Walser. She's the president of Walser Wealth Management. Rebecca, it's going to be decaf coffee, non-alcoholic beer, and fake meat all in that one little part of that menu that no one ever looks at.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Well, I want to talk about Robert Kennedy because, he has obviously been named. We have to get him confirmed. But, Scott, this is such a gem to have this man actually get to be a part of the federal government. People do not understand. He's called in the legal world, as I am a lawyer, he's called an environmental lawyer. But this is one of the most preeminent litigation attorneys against big pharma, big ag. He won a $290 million Montecito verdict against Roundup for causing cancer. That's the beginning of the situation. As you know, he won an injunction last year at a federal court, has to go up to the Supreme Court, but he won it against their censorship of social media, of his vaccine comments. This is a gentleman who has been litigating environmental chemicals for so long, whether through vaccines, through biopharma, or through food additives, that he's like an expert in chemicals, yet he's a litigation gem. So I love this man for this position, because let me just explain something. We just banned red number 3. So we have like 5 different, red 40 is one of them that people know of very well, that we have rest of world, we call it. Rest of world has banned them, yet they're chemically viable and usable in the United States. I think it was Robert Kennedy or somebody who held up, Canadians' version of Lucky Charms and our version, and their version looks bland and really muted, and ours are like bright colors. Well, those things cause cancer, folks. You want your kids to look at their bowl of crap cereal, and it's got no nutrition, and it's full of chemicals. These are chemicals that are causing cancer. And beyond me, I'm not going to say anything about any particular company, but I will just say that lab-grown or chemical process creation is also chemicals. So here's the thing. We were born as organic beings. The earth is an organic institution that brings forth more organic things, that nourishes us. And anything that we do to disrupt that natural organic process that's chemical induced is probably bad for us. We're realizing that now, and we need the United States government to wake up and stop allowing the United States citizens to be poisoned under the FDA's watch. And this is why the states are taking this as a federalism issue to their individual state level to say, you will not poison our citizens. Thank you, Florida and Alabama.
Bingo. I couldn't have said it better. And you know why? All you do is need to turn that package over and look at the ingredients on the back of a piece of steak. It's one ingredient. And you look at the fake meat or lab-grown meat, there's a lot of different ingredients in that stuff. Now, there's unsubstantiated reports saying that people that have only gone the fake meat route after 6 months don't feel really well. I mean, they're not getting the things that you would get out of a regular piece of beef. So obviously, I'm biased, but I do know that I don't like what you're saying. Well, I mean, for a number of reasons I'm biased, but I do know I don't like to see so many different things in the fake meat, lab-grown meat ingredients versus what you get when you buy a piece of steak. I mean, that should be the end of the argument right there. I've got about 10 seconds for you.
I will just say 30 years. It's been 30 years that we've had a chemical known causing a cancer-causing reaction of red number 3, and it just got banned. Are you ready for this? January 15th, 2025, baby. Robert Kennedy's coming, and all of a sudden now they're banning the chemicals. I mean, come on. Let's get this guy in there. What else are we being poisoned with?
Well,
Let's go.
hopefully, yes, exactly right. Hopefully we can say goodbye to that lab-grown beef and the fake meat, too. All right. Awesome to have you on. That's perfect. I'm glad you went down the Robert Kennedy route. That was even better than I thought it was going to be. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much, Rebecca. Rebecca Walser coming to us from